This thing will fascinate you for a long time. That is, it has very great opportunities. And today I will briefly talk about the opportunities. I bought this mini engraver with my own money for myself. I don't want to impose any advertising on anyone. Just by reviewing my new equipment, I'll tell you and show you how it works and what I need it for. I want to note that I will not film the unpacking. I will not film how to work with it in the program, because there are already a bunch of different videos. I purchased the youngest model laser. Yura, it looks like this field 130, 0 by 130, 0 millimeter. That is, you can make small pictures in this field. If you already want to take something large, that is already older models for my needs, as if this model is enough for now, well, again, I took her to try to play with her. Why did I take this model? So that my products are not depersonalized. That is, you can make some beautiful inscriptions on them. To make greeting inscriptions, people who are older probably found manual burners. That is, this is such a box, it contains such a pencil, similar to a soldering iron, the sting heated, and you burned it manually according to the entered picture. That is, they spent many tens of hours breathing smoke. I went through all this. Yes, it was interesting at that time, but now technology has made a leap up, and this device has appeared that will do everything for you. You press 3 buttons on the computer, the device connects to the computer, choose the base, and this can be optional wood, it can be metal, it can be leather, it can be fabric, paper. That is, there are many options for uses. In order to work with this device, we will only need a computer. Start a program on this computer. The program is not free. You can find them easily on the internet. As far as I know, there are 2 programs. One of them, in my opinion, is paid. The other is free. Of course, I downloaded it for free. Everything else is already included with this device. That is everything you need to work, so you will not need to buy anything separately. To do this, you choose any picture on the internet, quality J. It should be black and white, but if suddenly you have a color picture, it will still print it. Well, naturally, in black and white format, I use a program like this, put the picture you want here, choose the size. But again, within the laser field, that is, here is the maximum picture that can be printed, 130 millimeter by 130. You can download a picture of any size and already adjust it to your field. That is, you can make a tiny picture like a stamp, you can make a bigger one. If you want to print some large pictures, then naturally you will need to take a laser with a large field. The device comes with a power supply, which is inserted into the front panel, and a USB adapter with an output is also connected to a computer. You press the button, the green light comes on, and so on. Let's go into the program. The program is called Laser. Version 7.14 is the one I use. Next, we select the port. You will need to select the port until you have an inscription. That is, we click the inscription appears. What is a port? I also didn't understand this right away, so that you understand that your computer has several outputs, Y and B. That is, each USB output is called a port. This one I have, let's say, port 5 has 2 more USB outputs here, so you can determine it yourself using the poke method. That is, there is nothing complicated here either. As the inscription appeared, that is, the machine has already been connected, a glass bottle is included. This square is needed in order to expose the laser in height. This is an important point, so first expose the material with which you will work further on the side. Here is a screw. Unscrew it and place the laser on top of this square. Later, fasten the screw as we set the required distance. This little glass square is being removed. Most important, note that the surface of the workpiece is flat and fixed. That is, either glue it with tape or double-sided tape. That is, look, and the most important thing is that it is flat. There are no bumps, because the laser moves along the same plane. If suddenly it catches the workpiece, then the workpiece will shift and you will no longer get a picture. In order to put a picture in the program, click from above. Here is the file. Next, open the file, select the folder where you downloaded the pictures. Well, let's say I choose this horse. A horse appears in the settings. I only change the quality. I set 20. Quality 20 further was called by pressing the next button. And now here is the moment on the axis you choose the size. That is, this is just, you can scale either more or less, but the maximum here you can put 130 mm on this axis, 130 on this one. I'll deliver now to show you the quality, let's say. 25, I will make a small little picture and want to show the detail. Then click Created. Now the picture is loaded and the program we need to set this laser at the starting point. Here in the program we click on the house. The laser went to its place. If you want to see where this image will be printed, it will start naturally from this angle. If you want to move the laser to the center of the workpiece, with these arrows you can position the laser, that is from right to left, and it will change its position on the stand. Look, I press, and she drives up to that place in CO. No need, if you want to type first, right from the corner, starting from then press the house, and it returns to its place. That is, everything is clear with positioning. Now, so that you understand the actual dimensions of the workpiece, I'm going to press this button, and the laser will show you the boundaries of where the picture itself will be printed. Look at the laser press. And if you look, it shows you the approximate size. So after we have made all these settings, we press the start button. It gives us 5 seconds to put on the protective glasses that were included. Now laser has started working. Another important point, before launching the project, you must take into account the power. That is, set the power in the program for each material, and for each result, the power is different. That is, if you work with tissue paper, there is very minimal power. If you are working with wood, then choose for yourself what effect you want. If you want to make a 3D effect, that is just so that the part is convex, then the power needs to be set a little more. Now, if you really want to burn through the part, yes, that is, if you want to cut directly on a small, not well, let's say, not thick part, then the power needs to be set to the maximum. And again, you have to take into account the fact that this is a very weak laser. That is, it has 3.5 cotton. This is the initial model. To make the plywood about women, he will need to make several passes, but he will still cope with this task. Glazer finished making this little picture. As you can see, we calmly picked it up. If you notice that the drawing is very high quality, even on such a small part, and the most important thing is that it is embossed. That is, it is approximately deepened inside by 0.5 millimeter. If you make one more pass, then naturally you can burn through and it will be just like this. Here is the silhouette of a horse. They also took this picture from the internet and printed it on this laser engraver. The detail is wonderful. This is where we tried it purely. The detail here is worse, and it didn't come out as high quality either. It's already much better here. So friends, this is what I had in the sketch, and this is what I got already on plywood. That is, here there is such an effect. 3-Nastya, the quality is very good, the detail is excellent, and it is made on simple plywood. I didn't even polish it because we wanted to try it purely. Say, well, this is the board I made as a gift. The laser just made such an engraving. The next experiment we have is in natural leather. Now let's try to print something on it. Let's see what we got. But it turned out to be such a classic kitten. The detail is also on par, but now let's try it in pieces. Denim fabrics. So we have such a witch in the pocket of jeans. So, in principle, you can even do it on some kind of dense fabric. These are the things. Also included with the engraver were these blue and black metal business cards. And here is one of these business cards I have now installed and typing text on it. Now let's see what happened. So this is what we got on a metal card. That is, here is a sample. He's very drawing. So, your friends showed you how you can play with this little device. How can you use it? You can also buy separate devices to make engraving on mugs, on bottles. That is, it all depends on your tasks. If you have some kind of hobby workshop and you are engaged in wood, then you can print your brand on your products. You can also print some useful information, that is, websites or addresses of social networks. In principle, this is exactly what I will use this machine for. I hope my review was useful for you today. I have everything for now.